What is up, peeps? Hope you're all enjoying your day and likely to be the last CS News episode of the entire year for 2024. Just want to say thanks to all of you guys who have been here the last few weeks. It's been super fun to see all of you guys commenting, subscribing, leaving likes, also sharing your own stories out there. And I cannot wait to do this more in 2025. More importantly, while you're here, let's crack on into it though, as we had a Nel and KRL stream. It was in French. I don't speak French, but thanks to all of you guys, whether it's in the threads or on Reddit, who actually break down some of these timestamps and discussions that Nel and KRL had. So if you guys want to go follow them, I really do encourage it. Nel's been having a lot of these lead reports on all of this stuff. KRL's been leaking some things that do or don't happen, but it's been very entertaining to watch. So here are some of the translations, and if it is what assumed is true, that these are correct, as is actually originally posted on the forums, so thanks to the user who did that. I'm going to show you guys the Reddit one because I know a lot of you prefer dark mode instead. The first one saying, apparently there is huge tension and trouble among the G2 roster after the defeat in the major, and M0nesy to Falcons was almost a done deal, but failed in the last minute. And right off the rip, you're like, wow, what a banger. Potential issues inside G2. This later also says that G2 will have no more changes. It is expected that Heavy God will join this lineup as well to replace NiKo, so we'll see how all of that goes down. But M0nesy to Falcons almost happened last minute, meaning G2 almost snapped at that few $1 million mark that Sponge had talked about, what they were maybe willing to offer just to have M0nesy there. But then, of course, we backtrack about a month or so ago where the G2 CEO was like, hey, the torch is in M0nesy's hands. We're not interested in fielding offers for now, but apparently Falcons almost made it tempting enough, which we can only imagine how much money that did involve. But now a little turmoil inside G2, probably to be expected. I can't imagine the offseason and roster changes is easy for any team out there, especially when you have a major that is very much winnable. You lose the major run and you kind of fall very short in that run. At least in my opinion, they were certainly one of the favorites. And then you lose your star in NiKo. That's got to be a rough patch for any team out there. So maybe to be expected. Falcons were sure they would get the targeted players easily after the NiKo acquisition, but all orgs did not want to sell. And they almost panic bought U-Jerks and Yambo, which I think we've also talked about, in fear to end up without a team. So they wanted U-Jerks and Yambo for a time there. I think someone else had mentioned that was a bit of a panic because it was a bit out of nowhere, right? To get these two, and then the heroic trio comes in. So apparently Falcons were like, if we get NiKo, the rest will follow, which I don't think is a crazy assumption, especially if you're willing to offer so much money. But all of these other teams were like, no, we're good. I mean, some of them probably could have used the dough, but it certainly makes this offseason all the more interesting that G2 and others did uphold and say no, because now you have Falcons seemingly in kind of their own panic trying to get a lineup actually filled, and clearly that wasn't the first option for them. Initially, Dexter was benched from Heroic, but they decided to keep him in order to sell the core to Falcons. HLTV confirmed yesterday, also talked about this too, that the Heroic players wanted to bench Dexter. You dirty dogs. No more changes in G2 apparently. Heroic were also trying to target Sun Pius for a long time. Elige contacted himself top teams in Europe to join them. He is even ready to give up his positions and play other roles. That is my freaking guy right there. Yimpact contract ends in 6 months. Both KRL and Nel believe that Falcons will make changes in the summer. Oh wow, that's crazy that's out there. Both of them are just saying, yeah, they'll probably make more change. I mean, wait. What the heck is I mean, I love Nel. Been a very, very nice guy. I don't know too much about KRL, but seems very entertaining. But holy crap, if that's true, we're already assuming they're going to be making changes. If you're the Heroic trio, I mean, if you're Heroic, you're like, dang, we just got the cash and they're not even going to use our guys. I mean, maybe we'll get them back for cheaper. If you're the Heroic guys, you're like, whoa. And you're hearing these rumors. They haven't even played together yet. What? Is that me just being crazy? I mean, what the heck? And then very lastly, Vitality wants to replace M0nesy if there's an opportunity in the market, but nothing at the moment. Nerds was also an option for them. And that was one where I was like, M0nesy? I mean, do you guys think M0nesy's the problem on Vitality? I would have argued one of the stronger pieces, at least when I had the chance to watch the guy. I think M0nesy's goated. And now that I believe he has a kid, I mean, I usually think that comes with superpowers, but That one was also surprising. There's a lot of surprising stuff in all of this. Of all of those noted, what do you guys think is the most surprising? Obviously, a ton of freaking information at you. But Falcons almost getting M0nesy, then falling to several backup options, and of course going to the heroic trio. But Nell and KRL saying that they might want to make changes already in the summer. Is that after the first major? I would safely assume. Like, that is just, I can't even get over that information. We'll probably come back to that one. Yimpat, our boy Jimmy, apparently has contractual options next year, mid-year, kind of somewhat similar to M0nesy, right? We believe like halfway through 2025 is when his contract is up. So one more major with G2, a bit of turmoil inside G2 with their roster and their short run after the major. And it's just, this is awesome. I mean, this is only awesome in a fan sense. As a player, I can imagine this is just more stressful. But as a fan, to know these insights, thank you, Nell. Thank you, KRL. This just spices things up. It adds to all the storylines out there that are getting very good. And you know who's also very good? My boy Xantares. I gotta say it, Eternal Fire, to me, was one of the bigger letdowns not making the major. The Turkish team over there, the fans they have are absolutely insane. I enjoy the entire EF lineup. And so for them not to be there, to me, was one of the bigger upsets. Now we have Xantares, though, proving why he's one of my favorites. As according to Yuxic FPS on YouTube, he says, I received offers from big teams like, of course, Falcons and Fnatic, but I rejected them because I got my own team, Eternal Fire. The high amount of money offered does not affect me. I don't care about money. And that's my freaking guy. That's what you want to hear. I mean, everyone's been offered by Falcons at this rate. It's going to be like a laundry list. I feel like someone's going to make the list of all the players that Falcons at some point offered or had interest in, and all the ones who said no. And then we end up with the heroic trio and NiKo and Magisk, which, again, I don't know how people feel about this. It almost just feels wrong to nobody expected it to be a heroic trio to be joining the money team over at Falcons, but here we are. So shouts to Xantares. He does not care about money, and I love that. I love they have very much, I would say, national pride to have an all-Turkish lineup, and they've been very effective at being good the last year, just unfortunately failed when it mattered most to end the year, and so we'll see how EF can turn things around with Xantares and the team. But if you're his teammates, and maybe some of his future teammates, if they make roster changes and you see him say that, yeah, I got an offer, but I have my own team. That makes you feel good. And some last little news out there, guys, want to sprinkle out there. NiKo, another guy I have really enjoyed. Had an interview with him a long time ago. A great guy, dude. Just a really nice guy, but also has been doing a little bit of coaching here and there, and he loves RuneScape. So that's why I also connect with him on that. He recently had a tweet about NIP. He was doing some work for who had paid him not just on time, but ahead of time. If you guys know the history of nothing in PayPal, some changes over there at NIP staff, they're paying people on time, and that is the state of esports and CS, where we are celebrating people being paid on time. It is a good thing, all right? This should be the industry standard, but it certainly is not. I am glad that NATO got paid. It's also just a weird timeline where you're like, I just can't imagine any of my friends back home being like, hey, the bank paid me on time this week. Let's clap. It is just a showcasing of how esports is just in its infancy, and we're still dealing with these issues. So congrats to NiKo, and of course NIP paying him on time. One last one for you guys. Last time I checked out this roster, FlyQuest, aside from their major run, was over at ESL Atlanta, where they took down Big Clan, and the Aussies were looking good. Well, the Aussies are no more, all right? The Aussies have now added a European man. It will be Regali to be joining this team, and a lot of people out there thinking, all right, Aussies, you still get to stick it out there in the Asian region and do very well against other top teams like Mongols. But when you add a European, does this roster just instantly get better? And they already were pretty good, right? You make it to the major out of the Asian region, and they can continue to do that. And so will this be an improvement for the boys over there? We'll wait and see, but they had a pretty strong end to the year, in my opinion, and their jerseys are looking better than ever, if I do say so. So until next time, we hope you guys all enjoy. This will be the end of the year. I don't know if I'm going to be breaking news anymore today, so no double upload, but if I have to, of course I will. Till next time, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for subbing. My goal for 2025, maybe the 100K subs, maybe. We'll see if I can keep up with this pattern, but I really want to say thank you all for watching. You guys have been leaving so many great comments, whether they're mean, critical, nice, funny, whatever. I enjoy reading all of them, all right? So thank you all for being here. As always, drink that coffee, man. Drink that chocolate milk, maybe some water in there as well, and I will see you guys bright and early in 2025. Take care, y'all.